Hello and welcome to the second episode of Iwebike Financial Analysis and Investment Research Highlight. I am your host, Iwebike himself. From last week, we talked about inflation and the dangers of inflation and how inflation is currently destroying our income and most especially our savings. How does inflation destroy our income and savings? We explained last week that inflation is the process by which the prices of goods and services increase over time, such that you cannot buy those same goods and services at any time in the future for the price that you bought them in the past. The Nigerian official inflation rate is currently somewhere around 30% or 31 to 35%. This simply means that this year you are paying 30% more for the same things you paid for last year. That is, if you bought something for 1,000 naira last year, then what you are paying for it this year is 1,300 naira. That is a 30% increase in the price of goods and services. These are the official rates. But if we are to be honest to ourselves, we would know that inflation for a lot of different commodities that we need have actually gone up to 200%, 300%. And that has had a devastating effect on everybody. So we have to find ways to protect our savings and our income from the devastating effect of this inflation, which are caused, like we said last week, by government policies that affect the production of goods and services, such that the supply of those goods and services are pushed down even though the demand is high, and this leads to an increase in price across all those goods and commodities. So in order to protect our income and to protect our savings, we must look for ways and places to put those savings such that the value of that saving is protected from inflation. So if the prices of things are going high, then the value of your savings should also be increasing. And the way that I talked about last week as a means of protecting the value of your savings is commodities investing. And we explain commodities investing to simply mean investing your money into raw materials that are necessary for production of every other goods and services that we might need. So today we're going to go a little deeper into what commodities investing is and the different ways that you can invest in commodities to protect your savings and your income from the devastating effects of inflation. So like I already explained what commodities are basically raw materials that people need, that producers or manufacturers need to produce other secondary goods and services that are needed by the consumers. Some of these commodities are broadly classified under different areas, such as agricultural commodities, metal commodities, energy commodities. So agricultural commodities are basically agricultural raw materials that are required for the production of things that have to do with agricultural raw materials, such as the food we eat, such as the clothes we wear, because clothes is gotten from cotton, and cotton is an agricultural product. Such as the chocolate and the other different food that we eat, we get them from agricultural commodities. And some of these agricultural commodities we know have gone very high in price. For example, the price of rice, the price of flour, the price of oil, that's cooking oil, the price of different forms of agricultural commodities that we eat have all gone higher. So the concept or the idea behind commodities investing is that as the price of food is going higher, that you want to have your money invested in commodities so that the price of your savings or your wealth is protected, so that you can always be able to afford food or any agricultural commodity that you might be interested in, or whatever else for that matter. Then the second class of commodities are the metals. The metals, like we know, are used to produce a whole lot of every other thing that have to do with housing, that have to do with transportation, that have to do with industries, that have to do with automobiles. That's transport. So the metals are used in your cars, they are used in your gadgets, your electronics, they are used in your housing, and they are used in construction of roads, hospitals, and. So, and anybody who is a builder who has built a house or is into construction will tell you that the price of building materials have been on a steady increase. So, it is then of essence that you want to pack your savings or your income into an investment vehicle that is aligned with this construction, these metals that are needed for construction, so that while the price of the metals are going up, your money invested into those construction investments, or sorry, the metallic investments, are also going up. So this ensures that the value of your savings and your income is retained till whenever you need it for whatever you need it for. Then the last category of commodities that we can invest in, we already talked about agriculture, we talked about metals. Then the last one, energy. Energy is anything now that has to do with the fuel you use to drive your car, or the fuel that is used to fly the airplanes, or the fuel that we need to cook our food, or the fuel that we need to drive machinery for production of goods and services. So this is a very core component part of the commodities assets that we're going to be investing in. So these are the three different areas of commodities that somebody can save their money in or save their income in. This way, you can be assured that the value of your money keeps going higher and higher. So, one might now be forced to ask the question, how can I invest in these things? How can I invest in agricultural commodities, metal commodities, or energy commodities? The answer to that is not a very straightforward answer, but that is why I am here to provide you with the necessary information as it is being done on the global stage. So, investing in commodities comes in different ways. There is a direct investment into the particular commodities, and then there is a secondary investment into contracts of those commodities. What do I mean? In direct investment of the commodities, for example, agricultural commodities, if you want to be a direct investor in agricultural commodities, then you literally have to buy the actual commodities. That is, you pick an agricultural commodity that you feel or that you believe that is in high demand and that the price is going to keep going up. And then what do? You take your savings and you buy that commodity and then store that commodity. For example, rice. You know how expensive rice has become over time. A great way of investing in that commodity would be to buy bags of rice and store it somewhere in your house that is going to be protected from moisture or wetness. and you hold it as a way of saving your money. Buying rice and storing would preserve the value of your savings more than saving your money in the bank. Because when you save your money in the bank, the value is not going to be going up, it's just going to remain stagnant. At best, the bank will give you a token as interest that you earn on your savings, which does not protect you from inflation. But when you buy something like rice, the price of rice has moved from 30k, 40k to 80k, or 100k, depending on your location in Nigeria. So by the virtue of buying when it was at 30 or 40, you see that you've already made a profit of like 100%. My mom does this. She buys agricultural products when they are cheap, and holds them till when she needs money, and sells them at a higher price, and books a profit and then restocks. So it's a way of protecting your capital. That is the direct involvement or the direct investment into commodities. Then another means is the metals. How can you invest directly into metal commodities? How you can invest in metal commodities directly. For example, one of the most sought after metals is gold. Gold is a precious metal that is always used as a means of preserving your capital or your savings. You can buy gold jewelry and you can keep it, and you can be sure that anytime you need money, you can sell it and have enough money that equals the value of the money that you invested in it in the first time. It is an asset that maintains the value of whatever money you use in purchasing it. So that's a direct way of investing in metallic commodities. So then there is energy. Another one you can buy for the metals is silver. You can buy silver as a way of preserving your savings instead of leaving your money in the bank. Then the third one, which is energy. How can you invest in energy? I mean, the price of fuel is going high. So what if there was a way that you could buy some fuel and store it till the price goes higher and you can sell to attend to your needs? But we know that this is a very dangerous thing to do. Nobody, we hardly have the capacity to buy petroleum products and store them for as long as we need it. So we can't exactly invest directly into this type of commodity. So we have to find other ways of investing in them. And that brings us to the secondary method of investing in commodities. The secondary method of investing in commodities includes buying contracts. There's something called contracts. Contracts are when you make an agreement with someone to buy a particular product or commodity at a time in future for a fixed price. Let's say the price of something today is 1,000 naira, and I make a contract with you that in 3 months time, I'm going to buy this product from you for whatever price. It could be higher, it could be lower. I could tell you that I want to buy it in future for 900 naira, or I could tell you I want to buy it for 1,500 naira in future. So this is a contract that we are getting into, and it is called futures contract. That is, in future, we have a contract for the future. So when you hear futures contract, we're basically talking about a contract to transact at a fixed price and at a fixed date. So manufacturers make use of this type of contract to secure a particular price for the products that they are producing in future, or they could use it to secure a price for something, or for a raw material that they are scared might skyrocket in the future, right? So us as investors, we could sell, we could get involved in the futures market where we expect the price of oil or whatever commodity to increase. So when you buy the futures price, you're basically buying a contract that lets you buy at the current price sometime in the future, irrespective of the price in that future time. So let's say, for example, the price of oil today is 1,000 naira, and we buy a futures contract for 1,000 naira at the time in the future, let's say 12 months away. So in 12 months time, even if the price becomes 2,000 naira, you're still going to have to pay 1,000 naira, because the contract that you entered specified the purchase price at 1,000 naira. So this is, the way that you can invest in the oil commodities without taking storage of the oil. So we use futures contract for that purpose. So you can also use futures contracts for agricultural commodities. You can also use them to invest in metallic commodities, precious metal commodities. That is when you don't want to take storage, because one of the reasons why people use futures contracts is because they don't want to take storage of the physical commodity itself. Let's say you want to invest in rice, but you don't want to have to store up the rice. Let's say you have a huge amount of money. Let's say you have 10 million naira, or let's say 100 million naira that you're trying to protect from inflation, and you don't necessarily want to buy up a warehouse and then buy lots and lots of bags of rice to store in that warehouse, but you still want to invest in rice because you know that the price of rice is going to go up. A way to do it is to buy a futures contract. That means you buy 100 million naira, 10 million naira, 1 million naira worth of futures contracts for the current price of rice, and you have the contract that says that in a time in the future you have the right to buy this amount of rice for this particular price So you buy at 1,000 naira the bag of rice today, and then in 12 months time the price of rice becomes 3,000 naira. That means even though the price is 3,000 naira, you can still buy rice at 1,000 naira because you have that futures contract. So that's basically how this works, and this is how you can invest in commodities to be able to protect your savings and to protect your income and your family wealth from inflation. So that is it for today. Next time we're going to be talking more about this commodities and which ones are likely to go up in price over time, such that we can be looking at which one makes sense to buy now for the purpose of an increase in price to protect the value of our income and our savings. So I hope you all took note of the things I said today, and next week we shall meet again. Thank you and goodbye.